Okay, it's right on 11, so we will get started. And I have some slides I'd like to share with you all today. My name is Christy McKenzie, and welcome to Build Your Bridal Business using Salon Pay. So let's screen share. Just to get myself organised. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so what we'll do today's going to go for about 15-20 minutes, and we will run through some really great ideas on how to actually build your bridal business using Salon Pay. To start with, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the topics that are going to be covered. So we're going to just do a little bit about us or me, why you would want to build a bridal business, a little bit about some how to price your bridal services, formulating some really great packages for brides, and then some legal. So we always suggest using a contract for your brides, and then how to use Salon Pay to facilitate the whole bridal party system that you'll have running. So a little bit about me. My name is Christy McKenzie. I am the founder of Salon Pay and Secret Salon Society. I grew up in Melbourne, Australia. I'm one of 4 children. I had very entrepreneurial parents who were always doing things, and I was always following them around with their business ventures. I have 20 years in the industry. Like I said, I own Secret Salon Society as well. I'm a mum of twins, wife and multiple business owners. So Salon Pay and Secret Salon Society. But prior to all this, I did have my own salon. And prior to having my own salon, I was a freelance hair and makeup artist, and spent a lot of time doing brides. And so I'm very well versed in the bridal industry and all the pros and cons that go with running a successful bridal business. It can be really good. So we'll talk a little bit about this now. So why would you want to build a bridal business? Why do you want to increase these services in your salon? Or if you're a freelance hair and makeup artist, why would you want to be in this industry? So first of all, in Australia, it is a $2 billion industry. It is a massive industry. It can also be a really great creative outlet for your team. If in your salon you're normally doing cuts and colors, having the opportunity to do some bridal parties really gives your team a creative outlet. It's not every day that you get to style hair in a salon or do special occasion makeup. So it's a really great creative outlet for your team and something different for them to do as well. New client opportunities. So I used to find quite often you would have the bridal party would come into the salon, they would have their hair and makeup done, or you might travel to their location, and often mum will then start coming to the salon once she gets to know you, or the bridesmaids. So, you know, it could be that the bride is already an existing client of the salon, and that gives you exposure to all of her close, you know, family and friends that she trusts, and you can have that opportunity to get to know them as well. Or it could be that the referral to the bride is actually a bridesmaid. Maybe the bridesmaids are already a client, and then she introduces you to the bride. So definitely lots of opportunities for new clients. There's membership opportunities in the lead up to the wedding. So if you're a beauty salon, you could run or offer a skincare package or membership to that client. Every bride wants their skin to be looking amazing on their wedding day. So you could offer a special facial package or skincare regime package just for this bride in the lead up to her big day. And definitely it will increase the value of your business. So having bridal parties locked in and paying you regularly, you know, will increase the value of your business for a potential buyer. So how do we price your bridal services? So the first thing you always want to take into consideration is your break even. What is the hourly rate that you need to run at in your business to make profit? So there's so many different ways that you can do that. We're not going to go into all of that today, but as a basic level, you would be putting your your wages, the cost of goods, all the little things that you need to keep your business running. So electricity, power, water, etc. All those things, and then definitely also factoring in profit. That will give you, I guess, a rough hourly rate of what you need to run at to stay successful and profitable. Do you need to purchase additional tools or equipment? So if you're traveling to this bridal party, do you need to invest in some chairs that you take with you? Do you need to invest in a beauty ring light or anything that you'll need to be able to service that client or do that bridal party at a remote location? Do you need to buy additional things? So that might need to be factored into your hourly rate as well. Travel costs. How long will it take you to travel to and from the location? I would definitely be factoring in travel costs and definitely just using that hourly rate that you've come up with. What is the cost to your business for the travel? So do you have 2 or 3 stylists and makeup artists out of your salon whilst they're on location? Definitely be factoring in that travel cost. Another thing to consider that might come into a travel cost is, does your insurance cover staff traveling? So if your insurance coverage doesn't currently cover anything outside of your salon, you might need to get a cover note. You might need to pay something additional to your insurance company to allow your stylists and makeup artists to travel outside of the salon. And then any additions. So will you be doing a trial? Will you be providing lipstick or lashes to the client? Do you need to bring headpieces or extra hair or bling? I've put in there too. So all these things you need to factor into your pricing. And with trials, we'll talk a little bit about that later, but I've got a few strategies for trials as well. So correct pricing can be what makes you successful or not. It's pretty simple. So formulating some great packages, we are definitely here to help. So what I would be doing is I would be planning what you think that brides are going to want to see. So this is going to be how to grow your bridal business and how to set you apart from everyone else, I guess. So what are you going to include and what are you going to exclude in a package? So it could be that you create a package for a client, and these can be set salon packages that someone can just go in and purchase, or they could be something that you custom make for this particular client. I think that probably more often than not, it's going to be a custom package that you're creating for someone. So what are you going to be including and excluding? Thinking about what your clients are asking for. So do they want spray tans included? Do they want their nails included? Do they want their skincare package in the lead up to the big day included in a package? You can include whatever you like in a package, and we're definitely here to help you do that. Is there a hair color plan? So often we'll have brides coming in and they want to make sure that their hair is healthy and they've grown as much length as they need. That will often be a plan, and it might be that they're used to coming into the salon every 8 to 10 weeks. Or you might be saying to them, you really need to be coming in the lead up 5 to 6 weeks for us to keep your hair in amazing condition, to eliminate brassiness in a blonde, to keep that shiny, beautiful glow. Then you want to make sure that your staff are trained. So as always, make it fun, make it really fun for your staff. You want to role play and think of the FAQs, like think about what brides are going to be asking. They're going to be asking all sorts of questions like, how long will it take? What's the best timing? You're going to know all those things if you're experienced. If you're not, then that's something that you'll need to learn. So for me, I would always have brides ready about half an hour to an hour before the photographer arrives at the house. So typically if a wedding is at 3 p.m, the photographer is probably going to arrive at about 1 o'clock. They'll usually arrive at the location where you're getting ready about an hour prior or 2 hours prior to the wedding, to take photos of the veil being put on and to take photos of, the dress being hung on the door and all those things. So I would be definitely making sure that you have that bride ready at least half an hour prior to that. So for a 3 o'clock wedding, I would be saying you'd need to have the bride ready, I'd be aiming for midday, knowing that they're going to be taking a bit longer. You'll have them safely ready by about 12:30. And, if you need to still stay around and fluff and, help them with the veil and all those sorts of things, you need to make sure that you factor all that into your costing as well. So FAQs, role playing as well. So with your staff, making sure that they really understand how everything works. You want to make sure that you role play and get someone to be the bride asking questions, and then have your staff member, answering the questions. And you feel a bit silly when you're doing it, but it definitely helps. You want to incentivize your staff. So make sure that they want to do it. Make sure that there's something in it for them. And that could look different for each salon and each stylist or hair and makeup artist. Think about also who is in your network who is newly engaged. So do you have clients that are coming into the salon that are newly engaged? Because you want to reach out to them and let them know that congratulations, first of all, but also to let them know that this is something that you can help them with. And that would lead into marketing. So, I've put a few suggestions here for marketing these packages and marketing your bridal business. Engaging with an influencer can be really helpful, especially if that influencer is getting married. So definitely keep your eyes and ears out for local influencers that you've heard on the grapevine that are newly engaged. You could definitely reach out to them. You might like to partner with a local bridal venue. So I know with my salon, I was quite near a lot of wineries, so I could have reached out to the local wineries. Definitely having a day where you go out and actually meet these people, because the first thing typically that brides will lock in, or newly engaged couple will lock in, is their venue, and that will predetermine a lot of their decision making. So if you're local to some bridal venues, reaching out to them, dropping in, getting to know the event coordinators at the bridal venues will definitely help you increase your business. Make sure that you have some pamphlets to give them. Make sure that you email them a follow-up once you've been out to meet them. Email them a follow-up with, lovely to meet you. Here are my details. Definitely having something like a Pinterest board with some of the work that you have done ready to go to show them and share them, because they're all the sorts of things that they will actually pass directly on, usually in an email to the newly engaged couple, if that makes sense. You then, of course, want to market on social media. Whether or not you run some Facebook ads or some, sponsored posts is up to you, but definitely marketing on socials. You want to have some information on your bridal business on your website. So if this is an area that you're wanting to increase, I would actually have a separate page that is just for brides. It will make you look like you are an authority in that area. It will make your brides feel like they are definitely in the right place if you have that. If you're just listing it on a price list, it's probably not enough. I would say that you want to have a page there. You might have a link to a Pinterest board. You might have a link to your Salon Pay landing page with maybe you've got some bridal packages on there, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You might like to run a competition. So you could run a local competition with the local bridal venue that is, a like and share, or have a trial, go in the draw to win something. It could be something as simple as they win a lipstick, or they win a free trial, or they win their colour and cut prior to the big day, or they might win some skincare prior to the big day. It doesn't have to be that they're going to win their, whole bridal services, but it might just be something small. I would have a bridal party information night. So this time of the year is really, really good. We're currently in March, and it's a really good time of the year in Australia to start really marketing your bridal business. The reason being is you've had all that summer love, you've had all those engagements happening in the summer months when people are on holidays and they're away. Leading into Valentine's Day, of course, it's the biggest time of the year. It's the most popular time of the year for people to get engaged. So, you're primed at the moment to start marketing and having an information night where you maybe invite some local suppliers. If you are near those local bridal venues, you could get them to come into your salon and have a little area set up with their information. You could also look at like if there's any dress companies local, or if anyone's really creative with hair pieces or jewelry, or flowers locally, you could get all these little suppliers to come into your salon and run a bridal party information night. And then of course you're going to have your packages, which we'll talk about in a minute. You're going to have your packages there ready for brides to sign up. That might be where you run your competition as well. It might be something that everybody, every supplier that's attending might put their little freebie in, and then if you come on the day, you actually go in the draw to win it all. That could be a really cool kind of hamper. So selling, so definitely encourage upselling. So if you are a full service hair and beauty salon, you could be upselling spray tanning, you could be upselling their nails, you could be upselling lash extensions. There's lots of different ways that you can be upselling outside of your packages. And you really want to wow your clients. Do you have robes for them? They will probably have their own if they're Pinterest brides, or Instagram brides, but you might choose to have a little kit with some sashes or a robe that you bring to them. And if they don't have it, it's going to make them feel really special. Another really great idea, and we used to sell our selfie stations in this way, was you could have a media wall that you pop up, like a pop-up banner with your logo on it, and take your ring light with you and have like a little mini photo booth in the salon just for that day for the brides. Or you might choose to take it with you and have it set up in their lounge room, so that the brides, if there's one thing we know about bridal parties, that they love to think that they're famous, and they'll get there in the in the moment. They'll be doing all sorts of things with their poses in front of that selfie station, and it's content for you then for social media, and you can share those photos back with them, which they'll share and tag you, and it can be a really great way to wow your clients. Offer a redeemable trial. Now with trials, I would always suggest charging for your trial, and I would actually charge more than what you would charge on the day. The reason being is trials can take longer. So if they have a trial, I used to allow 1.5 to 2 hours for a trial in my salon, and I would actually charge accordingly for that price. Obviously, there's no travel involved, and I would never ever travel for a trial. They can come to your salon on that occasion. But I would definitely offer that to be redeemable, but make sure you factor the price into your packages. So if they, for example, come for a trial and they've paid, say, $200 for your trial, and if you're normally charging $150 for a bridal styling. If they book their hair and their makeup and their spray tanning or any extra services, you can decide what your terms and conditions are. You might actually make the trial redeemable against quite a big package, and think of it as a marketing opportunity for your business and all your extra services that you do. I've talked a little bit about Pinterest boards, so definitely if you don't have a bridal party Pinterest board, you need to have a bridal party Pinterest board. I would have 2 areas on this board. I would have one which is work that is inspiration. So this is all the styles that your brides might like to pick and choose. So that is, that can be anything and everything, I should say, that you like. I would also have then a separate page or board that is the work that you have completed, and making sure that those photos are amazing as well. So again, having a Pinterest board will make you an authority in your field. You can link it into your website. You can link it into your Facebook page. There's lots of different things you can do with your Pinterest board. Having the looks ready to go makes it really easy for the brides to get a visual and to understand what they want. They will also have their own Pinterest board, no doubt, and you can ask them to share it across to you prior to the day of the trial, so you've got a really good visual of what's happening prior. So personalizing packages is what you're mainly going to do, and we'll go through a little bit on how that works in Salon Pay later. But personalizing a package would be as simple as adding up, say there's 3 bridesmaids plus a bride, they're all having hair and makeup, they're all going to have a spray tan, they're all going to have their nails done, and you would literally just add that all up. You might add the trial in and then make it redeemable, which is, I guess, in a way, they're paying for it, but they're not paying for it, if that makes sense. They think they're not paying for it. But definitely to personalize the packages, you might put in complimentary lipstick, which usually most makeup artists will do. You might, if they're not having lash extensions, you might offer, adhesive lashes as an upsell. There's so many different things that you can do there with packages, and our team is definitely ready to help. So we'll talk about having a contract in place. Now, Salon Pay members, you have access to a bridal party contract, which is a separate contract to your Salon Pay membership contract that your clients would use. I would encourage your clients to fill this out properly. It is, it's 2 pages, just print them off, but it's a physical thing that they're agreeing to. So it's just a little bit more, I guess, holds a bit more weight than ticking a box. And there are things that they need to consider and that you need to consider. So the reason why you want to have a contract is cancellation policy. So so the contract will have a cooling off period of 5 days and a rock solid cancellation policy, which we'll talk about a little bit in a minute. It will protect the business, and it offers full transparency to your client on what's included and what's not. So we'll talk a little bit about the cancellation policy now. So like I said, there's a 5-day cooling off period. So that can be a great sell. So they would put down a deposit, which would be the first installment of their package. They would then have 5 days to cancel, and you would refund that within that 5 days. If it's outside the 5 days, then they don't get that refunded. That gives them an opportunity to lock you in, but if they're trialing someone else the next day, then it gives them a little bit of breathing space as well. Now, if your bride cancels within 8 to 12 months of the wedding date, they're only going to get their deposit back. That's all that that's all that they're going to have to pay. If it's within 6 to 8 months of the wedding date, they still have to make sure that they have paid 30% of the total cost. You have made that commitment, you've spent the time and effort with them, so 30% of the total cost of the package will remain with you as a business. Within 4 to 6 months of the wedding date, it's a 50% cancellation policy. Within 2 to 4 months of the wedding date, it's a 75% cancellation policy. And within 2 months of the wedding date, there is actually no refund. This is all 100% legally compliant. Our lawyers have drafted this contract, and it is considered a fair Australian contract. This is what's going to protect you as a business for blocking out days on end sometimes to service these brides. Now, you as a salon may cancel at any time with immediate written notice for 2 reasons. So if they fail to make payment, or if they breach the contract, and that will give you, if there's any refunds or payments still that have to happen, it all falls within this same cancellation policy. It's going to protect your business. So having a contract definitely helps with protecting your business against all sorts of things. The client is contracted to the salon, not the stylist or the makeup artist. So I had a situation in my salon where I had a staff member leave. She was pregnant and she had to go on bed rest quite early in her pregnancy at about 21 weeks. And she had a bridal party booked in 3 weeks after that date. Now, you can imagine that bride has had, this stylist do her hair, she's ready to go, and then in 3 weeks she's getting married, and she finds out that her hairdresser is gone on bed rest. Now, it's all things outside of anyone's control. We obviously had a very competent stylist step in to be able to do the hair for her 3 weeks out of the wedding date. But if we didn't have that contract in place, that client could have moved the entire bridal party to another salon. She could have gone on a rant on Facebook, done all sorts of different things. But having that contract in place, she was well aware that if anything happened, we would provide another hairdresser in place. And she was, felt secure knowing that we would honour that. And then also on the flip side, we didn't lose that business and have, you know, that entire day with 3 stylists booked out 3 weeks out, and it was a December wedding as well. So all the things that made it really tricky. The bridal contract is not transferable to another person, so you can't have your bride cancel and then try to give it to someone else. And look, all this is up to your discretion. If you're happy for all this, if you're happy to transfer you know, all this across to other people, then that's 100% in your discretion, but the contract will say that it's not transferable to another person. The bridal contract is not able to be redeemed for other services, so they can't cancel their wedding and then just string out a credit note, if that makes sense. Full payment will be 30 days prior to the wedding day. So you've got your money, you know what you're doing for that day, you have your stylists and your makeup artists all booked and ready to go, and payments in the bank. There's no messy, you know, collection of cash on the day or awkward moments on the wedding day where you're taking money. Your team just turn up, do their job and leave. It's really good. The maximum compensation is a full package price. So now the reason why this is really important is I heard one story, and it was enough for me to make sure that I had this in the contract for everybody else, of a bride who didn't want to have a trial, of course, and she had a makeup artist do her makeup, and she had quite a severe allergic reaction to the makeup. And what happened was she actually sued the makeup artist for the entire cost of her wedding and loss and damage and embarrassment and whatever, because she turned up on her wedding day with a very swollen, hideous face. So, you know, she had obviously paid the venue, she'd paid flowers, cars, like everything. This is on her wedding day. And she sued that makeup artist for, it was something like $60,000 or $70,000. So the most that you can ever be, I guess, sued for or you know, asked for compensation for is just what they've paid. So if you were to go and do that makeup application and she had a reaction and she cancelled her wedding day and tried to sue you, she's actually signed so that the most she can get back is the cost of the makeup, and that's it. The rights of the contract can be transferred to new ownership. So if you sell your business, any bridal party contracts that you have in place will get simply transferred over to the new owner, and then Australian consumer warranty applies. So, you know, there's no, if they're unhappy, or it's all just completely within our legal system, which is great. So full transparency. So on the contract, you'll actually have to write down an outline of the services that will be included, and that's going to be probably different for each bride, but it might be hair, makeup, tanning, nails, skincare, whatever it is that you've got in your package is what you'll outline that will be included. So if they want to add on a service, it says in the contract that if they want to add things on or in, it must be discussed with you. So it makes it really, really clear for the bride to see what she has and what she doesn't. And we all know we've had those brides where you've turned up on their day and they're like, oh no, my mum's having her hair done as well, or my nana, or I thought lashes were included, or, you know, there's always those situations that happen. So this just gets everything on paper and agreed to and keeps it really, really transparent. So what happens if they change locations? Again, they write down the location of their of where you're going to do their hair and makeup. That's all written down on the contract. So if they change locations, then extra travel charges may apply. If they change the start time as well. And then what happens if they cancel or don't pay? So that's all in the cancellation policy, and it's all just in black and white and keeps it really, really simple. Keeping in mind as well, having a contract, you know, not many businesses do this. This will put you forward as a true professional and an authority in that area. You know, if you've got a salon up the road or a salon, another freelance hair and makeup artist not offering a contract, I don't know about you, but when I was getting married, I you know, it was all just cash envelopes on the day, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have everyone paid and everything all done prior, but also there was that, I guess, that trust thing of like, you just kind of hope that you've thought of everything and you hope that everyone's just going to do their job on the day, because there wasn't really any contracts when I got married. So you definitely, with your venue, you'll have a contract, but not necessarily the photographer, videographer, florist, you know, no one's doing contracts. So if you have a contract, it gives the bride that reassurance that, okay, no, these guys are professional. I know exactly what I'm getting, and I don't have to worry. They're going to turn up, and it's all great. So it just gives a bit of reassurance. So talking about now how Salon Pay can facilitate everything. So the Salon Pay system has an automated package builder, which we'll talk about a little bit in a second. There's custom plans, so you can formulate any plan for your client that their heart desires. You can have it all on a custom landing page, or your package builders on your set packages will be on a custom landing page. We'll talk a little bit about payment processing as well, and then some marketing support. So what we'll do is I'm now going to screen share with you a video. Let me just be clever and do this. Give me a second. Not so clever, it seems. Okay. And screen sharing my my screen as I'm working can be a little bit slower as well. So let's see if that shares. I don't think it is. Rid of that. Stop share. Hi again. Let's share what I actually am trying to share now. Lovely. Okay. So what I'm showing you now is the Salon Pay dashboard. So when you're creating a custom package for someone, you'll actually come into orders here. And it will be a little bit slower, apologies. You're going to click recurring, and then you're going to load your client in this area. Now, I have already pre-put myself in to save a bit of time, and you're going to pop a description in here. So in this case, we're going to do 3 times hair styling, makeup, and then we might do 3 times spray tans. Oops. And the total amount, let's just for easy maths call it $1,000. Actually, let's make it 100 because this is a live environment, so my card's actually going to get charged. So we'll call it 100. Now, what we're going to do is we are working out 30 days prior to their wedding. So say, for example, we are on the 1st of April and the client is getting married on the 1st of April next year. That's 12 months. We want to have them all paid up and ready to go by the 1st of March. So we're going to call that, how many months is that? That's 11 months. And they're going to be paying weekly. So we'll make it 48 weeks. So there's 48 payments and it's $100 is the total. It's very cheap. So they're going to be paying $2.08 every single week. They might also choose to pay monthly. If they pay monthly, we simply put 11 in here and it's $9.09 every single month. Another thing you can do is, and this will take the first installment amount and that will be considered their deposit, but you can actually start that on a future day. If you have your bride and she's not getting married for 18 months and she wants to start making those payments in say 6 months time, you can simply select here and you can choose another date to start these payments. For the sake of today, we'll leave it at this and then we click save. And my card's got insufficient funds. There you go. I've definitely used that one. So what it'll say is it then pops up here that these are the installment amounts and this is their schedule. So they're paying every single, I think I might actually have a test card loaded in there, just thinking that's fine. But what it's done is it's put the schedule in. So you can see on the 18th of every month, all the payments that are coming out. If you have a client that is going on holidays for May and she wants to, shift a payment or move a payment, you can do this in this editing area. And you can, shift it back to, she's away for that week. So you might want to shift it to, the 25th, for example. or she's comes in and she's having her hair and makeup done and she wants to pay for that installment together, you can just tick paid in salon. There's all sorts of things that you can do in that area. And the other thing you can do is you can also process in the moment if you want to. If she just comes in and she says, look, I actually just would like to pay for it all today, you can just tick all these and she'll pay them all in the moment. The package area, which this is where your packages will end up on the landing page. So if I tick new here, let's call this a really great package would be a bridal trial package, and it's going to be a $200 trial, and it's just we'll call this a bridal party trial hair and makeup, for example. It's just a one-off purchase. I've got we'll pop a little image in there, and then we click save. And then I'll show you where this pops up. If we go back to the home page, go to our landing page, and we visit our landing page. So we can see this bridal party package that I just put in there. So that is, you can make this look a lot prettier than what I have, but this is a one-off purchase at $200. The client will click here, pop their details in, credit card, and they can purchase that directly off your landing page. Now, if you're doing a lot of brides, you might choose to have an actual bridal package that might be just for the bride, and it might be her hair for the day, makeup, including a trial. It could include her nails on the day. It could include a spray tan. You can have that all in there as a once-off purchase, or you can make it a 12-month package, and then she can very easily pay that off. So that's how that works. I'll show you very quickly how to do that. So let's why don't we just edit the one that we did, and let's do this bridal party trial hair and makeup. We'll do on the day hair and makeup, typos, spray tan, nails, nail, lash extensions. And that whole package comes to, let's say it's $1,500. We'll call this the Ultimate Bride. And we're going to make this a 12-month package. So they can only come in after it's all paid for. So frequency of visits in weeks in here would be 52, because that's how many weeks we have in a year. We'll leave the image the same, and then we'll just click save. And then if we want to look at this on the landing page, we go back to our landing page and we have a look here. And so that is going to cost her $28 a week. So that whole amount she's signed up for, she can pay $28 a week. She can choose to pay fortnightly. She can also choose to pay monthly if she wishes, and that's going to have that all paid up within 12 months. So if you're running, if you're doing a lot of brides, you might choose to do that instead, which is really, really great. We can run through questions with Salon Pay portal at the end. I'll just get my slides back up, so just excuse me for a second. Okay, and we're back. So the payment processing, so Salon Pay is PCI compliant. With your weekly, with your standard subscription, you'll get that payment on a Monday, so it's once a week. So any bridal party package collections that have happened will end up being in your account on the on the Monday. There's optional daily payouts if you're a premium subscriber. We rebill, so if a payment is missed, the system will try it 1, 3, and 5 days. If there is anything that's missed outside of that, it'll be up for you to contact the client. But if you're a premium subscriber, then we actually can do the chasing up for you, which is really good. Access to reporting as well, and the client payment follow-up. So that's the Salon Pay system. You also get access to our marketing. So we have quite an extensive image library with social media images. These are a few of our, make this bigger. These are a few of our bridal ones, for an example, and we'll definitely be releasing some more shortly. Meet our team. So Sally Turpin heads up our operations team. You might have spoken to her on the phone if you are a Salon Pay salon. She heads up the operations and is the manager of Salon Pay. So if you need anything at all, you can reach out to Sally and the team, which is great. And that's really it. So I'm going to have a look now to see what questions that we have. If we've got any, let me see. Does anybody have any questions for me at all? If you do, and you think of them later, that's totally fine. You can, thanks, Samina, the Salon Pay site is looking great. Yeah, it is. We had an update over the weekend, so it's looking great. Thank you. If you do have any questions, you can hit the support tab on your Salon Pay dashboard, and that will send us an instant email. Otherwise, of course, you can email support@salonpay.com.au, and we can help you with any questions that you might think of down the track. So I will leave it there. I think I'm about 40 minutes, which is of course over, which is not unusual for me, but lovely to see you all again. And there'll be another webinar in a fortnight's time. If you've missed this one, well, if you're here, so you wouldn't have missed it. But if you've missed any prior webinars, then just reach out and we can definitely help you out with catching the replay. And yeah, have a great day, and we'll see you again soon.